Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're well and I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to another book chat with Dr. Tammy. I am Dr. Tammy, your success strategist and literacy educator. I help you, purpose driven leaders, move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next. And today we're finishing up. Oh, goodness, this is it. Like we have been reading Reap More for 76 days. And this is the last week we're discussing it. And we're actually, you follow me on social media? You should be following me on social media. If you're following me on social media, then you will see that we have already started our March read, which is Adopting Blockchain and Cryptocurrency by Fred Brandon. And so hopefully you've grabbed your copy. If you look in the description below or above this video, you'll see the link so you can purchase or, you can always go on Amazon. But get with it. Join us. We're just now discussing. You're not too late. And we hope that you'll join us because we'll talk about that at the end. So we'll start with this one and then we'll talk about the beginning of that one, how we started that one this week. And it's not too late. Like, come on, join us. So we are finishing up today discussing Reap More. We had those last few seeds left that we didn't address last week. So we're going to talk about those today. Reap More, 76 seeds for this season. And if you are here, one, say hello. Two, share it out. Make sure you share it out. Share it to your network. Share it to someone who may need some encouragement or some inspiration. Or if there's someone who's interested in what we're going to be talking about toward the end of this, blockchain and/or cryptocurrency, you can share that out too. Like, let them know to get on board so they can get the link in the description above or below this video and join us. All right. So I'm going to start out. I always start the broadcast by reading one of the seeds in its entirety, just so you can kind of hear my writing style and see what we're reading. We're reading one seed a day, and basically it has a quote, commentary, and then space to write, to journal, because part of this reflection. So that's why we're reading one a day for the first 76 days of the year. Y'all realize we are there. We are there. We are done. And so we're going to talk about, hey, Bernicia. Hey, Sarah. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. And okay, so today I'm going to start by reading number 26. Letty, you should come live with me. Do you want the link? You can come on and discuss with us. We're discussing 70 to 76, the last six. So I know you have something to say. So if you want to come, let me know. I'll inbox you the link so you can come join us on screen. Putting her on the spot. I forgot we're on spring break. All right. So, or I am. But anyway, which is probably why this one is perfect. Bend, don't break. I'm going to read 26. So if you have your book, grab your book. Elegant Granny is here to discuss with me. So I'm going to bring her in so she can introduce herself and then I'll read 26 and we'll get started. We'll just jump back in. So she's back. So let's do this. All right. Let me bring my girl in here. Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, beautiful people?
We are here, and boy, do we have a treat today. Like, we are not only discussing some powerful seeds, but we are also introducing our next great read. So I am so excited about today.
Yeah.
But first, before I get ahead of myself, because you know I will do that, I'm going to let you introduce yourself so we can get the folks connected with you and what you're doing, and then we'll jump right in. All right. Ooh, perfect. I will send you the link and then you can just pop in when you're ready. All right.
Oh,
Because
good,
I'm sure
good.
we'll still be here. All right. Oh, my goodness. I just put her on the spot, but you don't have to. You can just join us from the comments. Bring some friends in the comments too. Remember, say hello and share it out. All right. Elegant Granny, go for it. Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I am Elegant Granny, your restoration strategist and creator and host of the Proactive Eye podcast, where the discussions are intimate partner violence, also known as domestic violence, child abuse, sexual assault, and sexual violence, and also suicide prevention as it relates to abuse. And what I do as a restoration strategist, I support victims and survivors of abuse as they transition from a life of toxicity to a life of wholeness. And I also supply resources to those who are supportive of them on their journey from transitioning from an abusive relationship to a healthier relationship. You can reach me at my link tree, which is listed right here in this banner. You can also, if you have comments, questions, or concerns about anything related to abuse or anything, if you have listened to my podcast and you have questions, comments, or concerns, or something that you would like for me to talk about as a topic for the week on the podcast, you can reach me through my email at yourgrannyforever@gmail.com. Or you can also, on the podcast, there's a voice message feature, and you can leave me that and I will get to it.
Awesome. Awesome. And y'all know what I'm doing over here. I am doing what I told you to do, and that is to share. So let me get myself back in here and get with it. All right. So 26. Seed 26. Let's start there today. Woo, y'all. If those of you who have been with me, you know the last couple of weeks have been just interesting. A bit challenging. So this one I thought would be perfect for today, and it's one of my favorites. And I've probably read it 100 times before. But like we say on here, these you just because you get done with the book doesn't mean it's done with you. You just kind of go through it over and over again. So here's C26. Bend, don't break, which is perfect for spring break, and I'm on the coast. Be like a palm tree. This message kept coming to me over and over. Coincidence? I doubt it. So I thought I'd share this with you too. Bend, don't break. Be like a palm tree. Palm trees are typically planted near the coast because of their durability. They are strong, they have deep roots, and are flexible for climates more prone to extremely windy conditions. And y'all look, it's windy out there. It's windy out there. During a storm, they can bend and not break. We must be like the palm tree when life gets overwhelming or extremely challenging. Don't quit. Don't give up. Remain deeply rooted, grounded. Bend. Don't break. Are you stretched thin? Are you at your wits' end about something? Are you giving up or putting aside your goals and your dreams to accommodate someone else or others? Are you always giving and not receiving? Bend, don't break. Y'all, look, this one I'm gonna have to just let Elegant Granny come in and discuss with me because I'm about to cheer up on that one. And just thinking about hang it in there and keep going and don't quit. Don't break. Like keep going. And so sometimes you have to bend, you have to give a little bit. You may have to do a little compromising. Bend, but don't break. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up. So yeah. I'm done.
Yeah, 26 is the perfect one to start with, mainly because of, at the onset of this pandemic, we have all had the extra challenge of having to be flexible. And number 26 also rides off of seeds 7, 9, 11, and on up to this point. And if you want to know what those are, get the book. I'm telling y'all, get this book. This book, I'm serious, y'all. Before the pandemic is over and you want to make greater strides, I'm telling you, this book here will help you because it has really upped the game on my life. I'm telling you, it has really been supportive and caused me to rethink some things over how I was doing some things. So what I want to talk about in for C26, don't bend, don't break, be like a palm tree, is being flexible. What ask yourself, okay, so I can't go out here and work like I did. I can't teach in the classroom like I once did. Okay, so that's been settled. So they have the classrooms and everything like that. And so if you had a business brick and mortar and you were no longer able to do brick and mortar, say for instance, I have relatives who were cosmetologists, and some in some states they're still not permitted to reopen the salons. So you know what you can do? There are so many people who are at home who are not able to have their hair professionally done. So you know what you can do? You can go over there and share some knowledge. Share some knowledge on the correct way and things to do with certain hair types, on how to wash, how to condition, the best way to curl for different types of curls, the best products for, why a certain line was created for certain hair types. There are many things that you can do. There's this one lady that I follow on YouTube. Her name is Yanni the Lachologist. She has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to taking care of people who have locks in their hair, because I decided to do locks. Although she can show you tutorials and do this, that, and the other, she does not do that. All she does is support you on the best way of having healthy hair. And she's always in telling you that the best way is taking care of you mentally and what you ingest. And it has a lot to do with the care of your hair. So that is something for you to think about. One of the things that I personally had to think about was being more organized for productivity, because I was busy, like busy, but I was not being as productive as I needed to. So this right here is one of my things I went out and I purchased to help me with my productivity. This right here will help me with
Yeah, little
social media.
whiteboard.
Yeah, that would help me with my social media because I have not been consistent with it at all. I've been consistent with everything else with business except for social media. And this time, especially with these C's, because these C's has helped me break some barriers and break some my own ceilings that I had set. Because sometimes we have our own ceilings, not what society has set, but some that we have set ourselves. I had to break through those, and these seeds help me to do that. That's why I have this.
Yay! Okay, we have someone else joining us. We're gonna bring Miss Letty
Good,
in
good,
here.
good,
Hello.
good.
Hi,
Hey,
Hey.
how are you?
Great. I hope I didn't
good.
interrupt. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So introduce yourself. Tell everybody, how do we know each other?
Well, thank you, Dr. Tammy. I'm so happy to be here. My name's Leti Berlanga. I am an educator. I work at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I've been here for about 24 years. I actually am administration, so I coordinate tutors who help
I
students.
know you should be on break. You should be breaking. Both of us should be planning our trip to the beach.
I know. We really need to do that. We definitely need to do that. So Tammy and I go way back. We have known each other for, I don't know, 15 plus years. I've lost count. But we've worked together in several different areas, and we've
Yeah.
also which has been great, and we've also collaborated on projects, and we've worked on professional board, which has been one of my
Yeah.
favorite things to do.
I
We've
miss
gotten
it.
we've had some great times working together, traveling together.
Yeah.
It's been great. Yes, I
Yes.
enjoy
And
it.
she puts up with me all along the way because, like y'all, you just never know what you're going to get. So, Letty, I know you're just coming here. We're talking about C26, and then we were moving. So, if you have any thoughts on that one, then we're going to move to 73, 74, and 75. So, we're talking about those last few seeds in here, which I always choose one to start with the broadcast. And then Elegant Granny chose the other ones today. And she said, that's perfect. And I didn't know which one she was going to choose. And, I wrote the book, but I don't remember like the order. I know what's in here, but like the order. And so she said, oh, it's perfect with these. So we're going to do that. So I know you have the book, so you can just jump in whenever you have something to say. And when you need to leave, you can pop out. This is just, we're just chilling, just girlfriends chatting publicly where everybody can eavesdrop on our drama and fun. All right, here we go. All right. So we're going to move to 70. What's next? 73?
Yeah.
73. So I'll let you do your thing, Elegant Granny.
Okay. Seed 73 says, despite your scrapes and scars, you are special. So shine on. And what I want to say is this goes right back to self-awareness. You must know you. You have to know you, because a lot of times what makes it so much easier for people to give up, they don't know the power that's on the inside of them. The reason why they don't know the power on the inside of them, they don't spend time with themselves. The more you spend time with you, the level of your self-awareness, as Dr. Tammy always talks about, and I always advocate self-awareness also, it raises your self-awareness, it raises your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, all those areas they're going to raise. And so that's what makes it much harder for you to give up. So despite your scrapes and scars, you are special, so shine on. You're able to do that when you spend time with yourself.
Yes. And the thing is, like, that's the thing. Like, I have people asking me, like, even my mom, like, are you sure you're okay? Like, you because she knows what's going on, but then she also sees me, right? So and she's like, what's going on? I say, look, despite what's going on, I have to keep going. I have to keep doing it. I have goals. Like, I have things to accomplish. So sometimes you just got to keep on, and you just got to still, maintain your values, know your worth, and just make sure that is still there. Like, that is at the forefront. Like, you can't let some other things overshadow. Yes, we talked about this. I know Elegant Granny had a conversation before we came on, and we talked about how, yes, you need to deal with it. You need to talk about it. And we're going to talk about that in a minute with one of the other seeds. But when we get there, but the other thing is, not only that, you have to keep going. Like, you still strive to be great. Like, you don't lower your standards. And I think we talked about that in one of the other seeds about lowering the bar. You still don't lower the bar. You still do your thing. And if you are great, don't minimize that. Keep shining. Keep shining.
Right. Yeah.
So, and it says, we may even have cuts and contusions, and you can still be amazing. You are special. Your circumstances are not your conclusion.
They're not. They are not.
So it's not over. It's not over till they say it's over. The old saying, till the fat lady sings. But we probably shouldn't say that, because during COVID, we've all picked up a little weight.
Can I ask?
I can't sing, but so we got to be careful with that. Go ahead, Letty.
Let me add a little bit to that. Don't lower your standards. That is a big part to it. But you also, depending on what's happening, many times you need to reevaluate. And so you want to give yourself some grace when you're reevaluating, because you may need to find ways to redefine what you're looking for, what you're working towards, and it may not be where you started or where you thought you were going to be. So it's not necessarily lowering your standards, because definitely you don't want to do that. But there may be some reevaluation that has to happen along the way, and you really need to give grace to yourself in those times.
Yeah, I like that. Give yourself grace and reevaluate. I like that. I like that. Because part of the REAP strategy is to evaluate. And so when you're doing that, you got to reevaluate. So you got to do that. I love that. And so one of the questions we're going to leave before we go to 74 is, how are you shining your light? Okay. Leave that right there. We're going to just sit that right there. We're going to keep it going. So then 74. And this is kind of what we were alluding to. And that's why we're kind of moving through these kind of continuous, because we probably need to reveal all of them so we can just have one big discussion, but we're kind of going through them one at a time, and then we'll, of course, bring it back together. But we were talking about how you got to do some of that inner work. You have to acknowledge it. You don't forget it. You don't let it go. You do that. So 74 is bigger and bolder steps require. It didn't say you may have to do it. You can do it if you want. Require inner work. Bigger and bolder steps require inner work. And so sometimes you have to ask yourself, who are you? And what are you scared of? Are you holding on to something that you probably need to let go of? So it's some great questions in this particular seed that you should ask, but definitely, who are you? And what is it that you haven't dealt with, you haven't addressed? What are some of those scars and bruises and scrapes and contusions? I feel like I'm a rapper now, but rhyming. But really, what is that you need to address? Because in order to move to the next level, in order to get to where you want to go, all those things we've talked about this last 2.5 months, you got to do the work. Bigger and bolder steps require inner work. Ladies, anything to add? Because I know Typhania picked this one. Put on hold the spot.
I agree. You have to do the work, because a lot of things are not going to manifest until you do the work. You have to do the work. And there are 3 different things I would like to talk about. All right. So in the seed,
she has a list.
And the reason why I wrote them down, because these are things that I do with victims and survivors. So this makes it a little bit easier for me to discuss. It tells you in the seed itself, bigger and bolder steps. It requires, it's an action word. You have to do something, inner work. And so the inner work is actually having conversations with yourself. And there's Let's I think that's your name. Let's the other lady that's with us. She was saying you have to, what's her name?
Leticia,
okay.
But we call her, but we shorten it to Letty.
Yes. Okay. So she was saying that you have to reevaluate. All of this comes with the conversation with yourself, getting to know you, asking yourself, are you sure this is something that you really want to do? Is this something that you really want to accomplish? Is this something that you really want to give up? Is this something that you can actually tweak? You have to do all of that. You have to ask, are these people, is it necessary for them to be in your life? Or who else do you need in your life that is directly aligned with what you're trying to accomplish? You have to ask yourself all of these things, and the only way to be comfortable with the answers, you have to get on the inside. Now, 2 different ways to get on the inside. One of the ways, Dr. Tammy and I talked about this one time before, is doing mirror work. And what mirror work do, because I get my clients, and I do this myself sometimes too, get in front of the mirror and you have serious conversation with yourself as if you are your own life coach. You have to do this. Woo! Or your best friend. You have to do this. That mirror work, I'm telling you, it helps, because what it does is it gets you to see the real you. Because once you look yourself in the eye, it's hard to lie to yourself. And when you do try to lie to yourself, it does something on the inside of you, and you don't like that feeling. And it helps you to confront what you haven't been confronting. Right. That's what the mirror work does. That's why I love it. Now, the last thing is shadow work. And a lot of people think it's something spooky and evil when I say that. But here's the thing with shadow. You know how sometimes when you're outside and it's the the sun is shining real bright. It's a certain time of the day when the sun starts going from rising to setting, when you are able to start seeing your shadow. Now, your shadow is a direct reflection of who you are, and it shows a silhouette, but it doesn't show the details. It's some things that are hidden, some things that are hidden from other people. There are some things that are hidden from you, but there are some things that may be hidden from you, and you can have these notions. You can't understand why certain behaviors keep occurring in your life, or why certain people that you're trying to get rid of keep coming in your life. It's because you need to do some shadow work. And what shadow work does is help heal through what you need to let go of to prosper. This is where a lot of healing takes place, because a lot of times, a lot of people, a lot of us don't realize the reason it's hard for us to accomplish or achieve these goals that we're trying to do is because there are some unhidden, untouched things that we refuse to confront that needs to be dealt with. And so until then, there's going to be some subconscious thoughts that are sabotaging us. And until we take care of the shadow work and do some mirror work so we can complete the inner work, nothing's going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Must do that inner work. Must do the real inner
Yes.
work. So, Letty, you have anything before we move on?
So I have a couple of thoughts on that,
Okay.
and both of you know this quite well. Journaling can help quite a bit with trying to get to know yourself
Mm-hmm.
learn who you are, and coming up with some of those issues that may be so hidden that you can't even remember or sometimes recall. But
Mm-hmm.
journaling sometimes will bring those things up, and it is so helpful. The other thing I wanted to note is, as women, it can be very hard for us to see ourselves as ourselves, because we are seeing ourselves many times through the eyes of our spouses,
Mm-hmm.
or our partner, or many times our children, because we are mothers. And so we many times don't see ourselves as
Right.
individuals, and it's really hard to make that distinction at times. And
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be made. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that. All right. So, which brings us to what Trifania, I'm gonna just have sorry, Elegant Granny, her government name. I'm giving y'all her government name. Elegant Granny, I must say you were on point on about this progression, because Letty said something that's in this one. And and they're all building. So this one to be in the last one that we'll discuss today before we go to our next one. Our next book selection is there's 75. Be gracious and kind while you shine. And Letty was talking about giving yourself grace. So in here it didn't
Mm-hmm.
say who, but I want you to remember that we're also talking about yourself, like not necessarily just to other people, but also to yourself. So be gracious and kind while you shine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else to say
It really
with that
isn't.
one,
It
but
really isn't.
I
It
don't know if
really
there's anything
isn't. You
else to say.
just be kind to yourself. We are our own worst critics. We really are, especially
So true.
females. Especially females. We critique everything about ourselves, and a lot of times it's really not other people. It's based on how we feel about ourselves. And like we were all saying earlier, if we would just be kind to ourselves
Yeah.
and reevaluate and get to know ourselves, raise our self awareness, we would see that we are a much better person than we really think we are.
And I agree with that, but I also think that it's the other side of the spectrum. Because if you associated with my name, if you
Mhm.
even search my name and look at the definition of my name, it's perfection. So it's also that other side of that. It's the other
Mhm.
side of the expectation being something that's unrealistic or too much. And sometimes what we know we can do and we know what we are capable of, or we just have this big head that we can do a lot because
Mm-hmm.
which is not a
Yes.
bad thing, but it can put you in a space where you don't give yourself grace, where you're not kind to yourself because you're wanting that 101. You don't want 100 is not good enough. You want 101 or 130. And I think that it's a continuum. And so we
Mm-hmm.
part of that we talked about a little earlier was that inner work and being mindful of where that is. And yeah,
Yeah.
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 Listen, so I'm gonna just telling all my business. But so today I was in class, which is actually over the topic of our second book. Now, I don't consider myself an expert or advanced at all. Why in the class
Mhm.
was I'm the one referred to as the advanced student? I was like, me, I just got my stuff together and I'm just worried about me. And it was because of that other thing, because even though on the, relative to what was going on and what was happening, I was still expecting more. Like it was more. And that's me. That's probably what my platform is all about: more.
Mhm.
Reap more, manifest more. We want more. So which is also something you have to keep in check. You got to just keep it in check. And
Mhm.
acknowledge when you do some things, So anyway,
Yeah.
let the Trifania, I'll let y'all talk because I can talk all day about these.
Yeah. That's basically it. All I had to say with
Okay.
that.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right,
I
y'all.
don't think I can add anything to that. Yes. It's great.
Thank you. Okay, so I know Letty has to go.
I
So any final thoughts in general about this book? This is our last discussion on this one before we move to our other one. So any final thoughts before you say bye to us as we finish up today's discussion?
Personally, I have loved and enjoyed this book. My daughter was here this weekend. I gave her copy of it.
Yay.
So I was so excited to give that to her. It is a wonderful tool. I cannot say that enough. The way Dr. Tammy, you set it up was just brilliant. It really was. It's
Thank
not.
you.
It is really easy to follow. It
Mhm.
doesn't intimidate in any way.
Mhm.
And so, for many of us that feel like we don't have the time, we don't have the energy, I think
Yes.
this gives us little steps that we can follow every day, and it's a wonderful tool for everybody. I have thoroughly enjoyed the process.
Thank you. And I think that was what Trifania was one of the ones. It was, two ladies that kind of said we should do this. And I think that was kind of the thing.
Mhm.
Like we just a little bit each day because both of us are doing other things and reading other things, and she's going to school. I'm just doing the most as usual. And so it was just a way where we could do something together as a community, but it
Mhm.
didn't require a lot of time. So that was the hope, that was the goal. So thank you for sharing that, because that confirms that we are on the right track anyway. So thank you.
Definitely. Well, thank you. I will go now. I
Thank you.
really enjoyed
Thank
meeting
you.
with both of y'all. Elegant Granny, great to see you again.
You too.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.
All right. So, any final thoughts with this one? Reap more. 76 C's for this season, because y'all, I know we're coming up on our time. And so, but we need to discuss what we've been up to this week. We got to get everybody up to where we are today. So, anything on Reap More before we move to our next book?
Just get the book, y'all. I'm serious.
Thank
You're
you.
doing yourself a disservice if you do not get this book, especially while we are still dealing with this pandemic. This book, I'm telling you, it will help prepare you for afterwards. Trust me, get the book. That's all I can say. I cannot
That's
stress that enough. Get this book. See
That's
Dr. Tammy for the book.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So now the heavy lift. So for those of you that don't know, okay, so those of you know that we are reading Reap More for the first 76 days of the year. So if you're just coming in, hello, say hello to us. We're gonna stay here a few more minutes because we're gonna just share with y'all what we're up to next or now slash next. I don't know. Anyway, we're kind of in this transition phase, so it's been kind of weird this week with promotion and sharing. But we just finished that one and we read it and we knew because it was 76 days that it would end at a strange time. So in the midst of that, I was like, well, we need to start something else so we can kind of have it. So what we are reading next is, and I think Trifania has her copy.
Yes.
We're reading Adopting Blockchain and Cryptocurrency, Embracing a Digital Future by Fred Brandon. And so needless to say, we had a great discussion, and Trifania just happened to be, she's here for Reap More, but she happened to be one of the people that was there this Tuesday. We actually met Tuesday. So if you haven't been watching what we're doing, so let me just explain this process. We discuss in Zoom before we come live. We don't want to embarrass ourselves. So we discuss in Zoom so that way we can answer questions because the content is a lot. It's a lot, and there's a lot of questions. So, and a lot of things that we can discuss and kind of share. So what we do is we discuss in Zoom. And then on Fridays, we'll be here publicly still with you to share our thoughts on that week's discussion and just kind of give a recap and let you eavesdrop into it. We ain't gonna tell you all the business because we got to work out some things. I remember my mama saying, let's fix this at home. Let's deal with this at home before we go out there into the public. So that's kind of what we're doing with this. We're kind of doing our thing at home in the Zoom room. And then we'll go out into the public. So that's what we're doing. So this week we started discussing, and if you haven't gotten your book, it's not too late. You can go now above this video below in the description somewhere, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, Twitter, wherever, you can find the link. So you can go to adoptingblockchain.com, or you can go to Amazon. It's over there too. So you can pick it up there as well. I will put this I'll put the little banner up in just a second, but we're reading this. So grab your copy. You can get it now, today. We're discussing on Thursday. Thursday is our discussion, and you can join us on Thursday. So you can order it today, have it probably by Sunday. I mean, you know how you got Prime, it'll be there in just a couple of seconds. I ordered something, it was like next day. So it just depends on what's going on in the world, but you can have it before Thursday and join us. So there's still time. And if you get it on Amazon and download an e-copy, you can have it in like 5 minutes. You can have it. So grab your copy. So, all right. So Trifania, we started discussing. Tell me what you think. First about so let me just say, this is a new process. So before we discussed in our group on Facebook, but we realized we're leaving a few people out. So what I've decided to do was move it from Facebook to Zoom, to something that everybody has access. If you have internet and a web browser, you can access it using the link. So I decided to do that to open it up to more people because I've gotten questions about, well, I'm not on Facebook. So that's what we decided to do, is open it up. So if you're not on Facebook, you don't have to be on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching this to join us. We're in Zoom once a week. We discuss. And so this is a new. So just about that process. So tell me before we get into the actual book, because the content is, that's something else. But before we get into the book, tell me about the process and how that either helped or did not help with this book. So give me some feedback, because you're the only one here today. So I got to ask you.
Okay. During the Zoom, it really did help because I had a lot of questions about this stuff anyway. Because the way our future is going, this is pretty much going to be it. So I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could. And the information that I found out there is so complex that I just wasn't grabbing it. And so when I got this, my mind was able to, because I'm a visual person. So as I read, I like to imagine what I'm reading. And so there was a lot of things that I could imagine. There was some things I like, okay, there's a missing piece here. So when Dr. Tammy, when we were in the Zoom, she filled in those missing pieces for me. So I was able to get the rest of my mental picture going. So this, it's by her doing that, it's really helped me to understand how to manage this, as far as increasing with my finances and increasing my knowledge about this for myself and for my house and for my family members. So I was so glad when she did that, because I had a lot of questions, and this book is pretty much an easy read. It really is. And it's not that much in it, but trust me,
All
even
right, so
though
you
it's
have to
not a lot,
clarify that easy read, though.
okay, well, easy read, what I mean by easy read, yeah, that's a good thing for me to do. What I mean
I'm
by
not gonna
easy
let off the
read
hook because
is, this is what I mean by easy read.
it's shorter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when I say there is so much in here, there is so much in here. It's almost like two terms in school. It really is. The back, when I read through it, and I
Absolutely.
really read through it, it's almost like going through two terms in school. It really is. It's a
Yeah.
lot in
I
here.
think the first thing when we popped into the Zoom, and I know it was a few of us there at first, and you were like, "Now I've read this." You said, I did read it. You were like, let me just validate. Like, I did read it. However, so that's when we went from there, because we really use that. If you have your book and if you come, we use that when you read before, then we come when we clarify, and we just kind of use each other to give different perspectives and talk about it. Now, she did say one thing that I need to clarify. I am not an expert. I am new to all this and I am learning. And I did my best to answer her question. So,
And
so yeah.
you did answer
So,
them. It clarified a lot.
so that's good. Of course, then we all left with notes on things we need to do. So
Mhm.
we all left with notes on things I need to find out more about. So yeah, so that's the thing too. So it creates this, if you really want to know more, it will kind of give you some ideas on what you can do, what you can look up, and what is the next logical thing for you to search for, because there's so much information out there. It really
Mhm.
is. And so I put the link here so you can grab it via the link, or you can go on Amazon, grab your book. Oh my goodness. But we had a great discussion, and the thing is, we know we left there saying we may have to come back, because we broke it up, just for logistics. We broke it up. There's part one, part two, chapter one, chapter two, whatever you want to call it. I say parts because of the content is so like massive. So we did
Mhm.
part one this past week. We started. Let me get my language right. We started talking about that, and then this week we're going to pick up and move into. So we talked about blockchain and the technology, and then this week we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. And then we have another week. We're going to talk for 2 more weeks. The final week we'll wrap things up. Q&A. We'll even talk about how this all plays. We'll kind of bring everything together, hopefully, on generational wealth and how this can, help your families. And so we're hoping that's where we're going. That's our plan. So but we're letting it go organically. So if you want to join us, be sure that you join us. Um, any other thoughts, Trifania? Well, I find the link on how they can join us. Any other
Um,
things?
I don't have any more other
Okay.
thoughts, other than if you really want to know and have some questions answered concerning blockchain and cryptocurrency, get the book, meet us in Zoom, and you can also read about the author that's on the back. And his information is on here too. The one who wrote this book, his information is on here too. So you have good people to get some information from. And yeah, this is I'm enjoying this. Put it like that. That's all I can say about it right now. I am really enjoying it. Because I read it again. I did
Yeah.
after the Zoom. I read it again because with the information that you gave me, I had a little bit more clarity. So I said, okay, now let me do it again.
Right.
And the missing pieces that you gave me include that in as I paint the picture in my mind while I read. And that helped.
Yeah. Good deal. So this is one place you can go. For those of you who are a part of my community, you'll get the if you're on Facebook, you can, of course, I created an event both in the group. So for those of you that are in the reading community, so we should have like 300 of y'all in the Zoom, but wishful thinking. But in the group, I did post an event, RSVP there, so you'll get the link. And then if you're on Catalyst for Change Global, there's an event posted, a public event posted there. You can on Facebook, and you can RSVP there too. Those who RSVP will get the link. The other places you can come, you can join the meetup group community, and you'll get the link that way as well. So if you're part of the reading community, or if you're a part of our community over on Meetup, you can get the link. And yeah, because I'm not sharing that publicly because I don't want any bombers, because I've had a couple of those in this last 10 months to a year. So it's been interesting. So the one thing that I want to say, while she was talking, but I wanted to, let me just leave that up there for a second, is talking about the author. So the author is, I'm going to see if I can find this. All right. There we go. So on Twitter, that's the handle. I am F Brandon. So you can go over to Twitter and follow, or Instagram or YouTube. You can find him. And using that handle, so just type that in and you can find him. You can connect with him. Hopefully we'll have a cameo. Maybe we'll have a cameo appearance. Maybe he'll pop in on one of our chats. So if you join the Zoom room, maybe in for a treat. So yeah. So yeah. So for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, we are reading. Let me do this. Okay. So it's a little bigger. There we go. Adopting blockchain and cryptocurrency. We're reading this for the month of March. We have 2 more discussions. We started this past week with our little intro. We talked about, I say little because it's a lot. But we did a little introduction and then we got into part 1. We started it. So we started discussion. It's still not too late. You can get your book. You can join us on Thursday. I intentionally left some space so you have time to get the book in your hands, start looking at it, start reading it, and then join us in the chat, because that's where the magic happens, is when we start talking about it and bouncing ideas. And you know what? I'm actually, for those who join us, you get a gift from the Black Bitcoin billionaires who is sponsoring the Satoshi Millionaire Challenge or campaign. So if you come, you'll actually get a little Bitcoin to see what it do, that it does, what it does. But yes, yeah, so grab your book. And I'm going to put the information on where you can get it from. I hope you'll join us on Thursday to chat. And then, of course, Friday will come with the recap and kind of give you a little bit on what's going on. And, we probably have a few different people since, it's a different group. Every book brings a different people with interest. So we may have a different group join us. So definitely go grab your copy and join us. If you haven't joined us yet, there's still time. So join us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for reading REAPMORE. Thank you all for getting on board and reading Adopting Blockchain and Cryptocurrency. The time is now. So join us. My choosing it has been intentional, and there's a reason. So join us. And I hope that you will stay connected with us by joining either us on our Facebook group or in the meetup. Either one. You can connect with us. Look, y'all, you can even text me personally, because I answer my own text. And I do that. So you can even text me, and you can text Catalyst and join that way too. Either way, connect with me. I am at Dr. Tammy Francis everywhere. You can do that. And I'm going to let Elegant Granny tell you how you can connect with her and meet up with her. But I did want to tell you how you can connect with us and join us on this next read. We are reading for the month of March, probably a little bit of April, because we're probably going to go over, depending on how the discussion goes. So just know that this is a fluid process. Adopting Blockchain and Cryptocurrency by Fred Brandon. Make sure you grab your copy. You can grab it on adoptingblockchain.com or you can go to Amazon. But get your copy either way. And then I'm going to let Elegant Granny come in here and share with us a little bit on how we can connect with her and what she has going on before we wrap this baby up for today. How about that?
All right. Once again, I'm Elegant Granny, your restoration strategist who supports victims and survivors of abuse as they transition from their toxic relationships. In addition, I help their supporters, family, friends, their co-workers with resources necessary to support their loved ones as they transition out. On the podcast, on the Proactive Eye podcast, we have discussions of intimate partner violence, known as domestic violence, child abuse, sexual assault, and sexual violence, and also suicide prevention as it relates to abuse. You can reach me here at this link on my link tree. You can also get in touch with me through email at yourgrannyforever@gmail.com. And the only thing I have going on right now is with quarter 2, the work and the services
Wait a
that,
minute, quarter 2. Oh my goodness, it is coming. We got like a few weeks. Wow.
yes, yes, I'm
But
preparing already. So
yes.
I have had my services page with the coming soon signs on it. And the services are ready. It's just a matter of getting them posted and having them to go live. And they won't go live until the second quarter. I have 3 different tiers. That's going to be victims, survivors, and supporters. And what I mean by supporters is it can be advocates and activists who are already out there, but it also includes family members, friends, and co-workers of people who are coming out of those situations. And if you want me to help you with some resources and what you can do, there will be later on during the year, there will be webinars and classes coming, but none of that is going to go live until the second quarter.
All right. So they got a couple of weeks to get it together and connect with you. Get her handle and follow her and connect with her. And I like how she says, I'm just, when she has a podcast, getting a doctoral degree, going to school, getting a doctoral degree. She's doing all these other things. But I understand. I say the same thing. Like, I'm just. But if you know me, you know better. You know better. All right. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for being here. If you're catching this on the replay and you made it this far, I hope to see you on Thursday in the Zoom room and to join us over there. So make sure that you connect with us either through Facebook or you can go to the meetup group and join us over there so that way you get notifications. And then of course you can choose the events as events come up on the calendar for the community. I am posting them over there so you can also follow there. So since I'm doing a lot of things in the video software, whether it's Teams or whatever, or Zoom, because I'm doing it in those places just for security and just because I like my cocoon spaces, you'll need to make sure that you RSVP so you'll get them. So anyway, thank you all for joining us. We hope you will join us next week. We'll be back on Friday. Well, I don't know. Elegant Granny may ditch me after this, but we'll be back the next Friday and we'll be discussing adopting blockchain and cryptocurrency, embracing a digital future by Fred Brandon. If you haven't gotten your copy, get your copy and join us next week. And whether you join us, hopefully you join the discussion, but definitely join us live. And you can also give us feedback there. We'll be same platforms you're watching this on today. We'll be back. So I hope you'll grab your copy and join us in Zoom on Thursday. It's already set up. We're already ready to go. It's 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. And yeah, that's what will be the next 2 Thursdays discussing adopting blockchain and cryptocurrency. So we hope you'll join us. Y'all take care. Y'all have a great week, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.